Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I recently got Lulu Mayo's new book and I adore it, it's gorgeous. So I thought we'd do a page together. Now, like I said when I got it, and I did a quick flip through on the channel in a little haul that I'd got. I don't follow tarot cards, but I just love the art in here. So I've done a page with the lovely K as a buddy colour, so I'm going to make sure you don't see that. And I've marked this page because it was just too darn cute not to come on and do it with you. So this is the Queen of Wands page, and I'm going to be using, because I didn't give them a chance before and I hadn't used a lot of colours, I'm going to be using the Kalour 240 set. I think that's how you say it, Kalour. Kalour 240 set of pencils, and I'm going to be using one of the Ink Lab metallic markers that the lovely Kevin sent me as a gift, and a couple of Poscas. So, but you'll be able to use gel pen or whatever it is you do have. Okay, now I'm going to have to be really brave here. I'm going in with my Ink Lab purple pen. Unfortunately, they don't have names or numbers, but if I put it in the pack, if you do want to get them, it's the only dark purple in the pack, so that's the one I'm using. And I'm going to have to be very brave. Of course, Lucy's practiced, but I am going in and I am doing a dark purple metallic background. Now, the reason I'm using water-based markers is this page is double-sided, and there is some single-sided ones at the front of the book, but when I used watercolour for the one with that me and Kay did together, it does bleed through the paper. This is different paper to her books. It's still nice paper, don't get me wrong, but it is different quality to the other Lulu Mayo books, so just bear that in mind. So if you're using water markers, water colours, it will bleed through, so you're going to have to be very careful. So if I bring you in, just so you can see, this is the Ink Lab pencils, Ink Lab, goodness me, the Ink Lab pens, in case you haven't seen them. They are water-based markers, so they do not bleed through your paper. You have a brush tip, and then on the other side you have a little bullet nib. So Lucy's going to be brave, and I'm going in with the brush tip. These are incredibly juicy little pens. They're amazing. I think they're £12 and you get 24 colours. But so I'm going to be very brave here, and I'm going to start filling in. I'm not going to make you watch while I colour the entire background in these juicy markers. And you know me, I have very shaky hands, so I'm going to worry about the border afterwards. Alright, so all I'm going to do is find in the entire background, it's very difficult to say, I think that's a leaf, so I'm going to go in here, avoid the stalks, but they are nice nibs. They're juicy pens, they're nice nibs, so actually I can control them quite well with my shaky hands. So very nice, very nice. Kevin, great gift, thank you very much. So what I'm going to do is go off and do the entire background and let it completely dry. Now, because they're water-based markers, sometimes they streak, so if they do streak, I will let it dry and put a second coat on, and that should get rid of all our lines and horribleness. But I will play, and I will come back and show you in a second. Then we'll get, that's the only bit I think that we're going to do with pens, apart from the details with my Poscas. The rest of it will be with the Kalour pencils. So your background, you could still do in pencils if you chose, or other water-based medium, or Posca, black it out. It's up to you. Alright, my lovely friends, I'll see you in a second. Okay guys, so I've finished the background, and as you can see, I've put a light above us so you can see the shimmer and shine from that water-based marker. Aren't they cool? Isn't that lovely? So, let's focus on another item. Let's do something nice and simple together. We've got loads of sunflowers, so let's get one of those done, shall we? So we can move on to other things. So, shall we do the big one? Let's come in. That might be easier for you to see. Let's just get you in there in view. So, using the Kalour pencils, I've got salmon pink, which is 0.50, cream yellow, which is 0.56, and pale yellow, 0.53. The house is nice and warm this time. The last time I got these out, I was frozen and they didn't work very well. No, that's a lie. We did use them, didn't we, in fur balls, but I only used the blues in just a few colours. So, we're going to put this salmon pink, which is a beautiful colour, in the deeper areas. I'm just going to do it softly for the minute. We'll go back over and then sort of bring that right down a little, well, not right down, bring it down quite a bit behind that petal. We can go back over. Yeah, so I'll just show you, sorry, I was just thinking that there is absolutely no bleed through from those markers. If I can show you, we're so close whatsoever, look. No damage whatsoever. They're really good. Very, very shiny. Okay, back to our petal. Okay, so now we want the cream yellow. Just check I've got the right colour. I do. And you can see everything, which you can. So don't forget I'm going to go back over, so this isn't finished. I'm just going to build those colours up. I want to see how the book reacts to these pencils. And pale yellow at the bottom. So we get a decent gradient. Okay, so let's go back in. Can we layer them? Or is that it? Let's bring that down much softer. Into that cream yellow. There we go. And then put our, and then just go in with our cream yellow. That's better. Better blend now. Much better. There we go. And our pale yellow. Just for that tip. There we go. One petal. Didn't want it too bright. Should we do another one? Let's do this. Let's do a little one just over here, just so you can see that it won't be any difference. If the petal's behind, I am going to make that darker. So we'll put in our orange, or our salmon pink in this case. And then we're just going to really softly bring that down to help out that blend. Then we're going to go in with our cream yellow. And leave a little bit on the tip for our very pale yellow. There we go. Now, I don't think on this page there's any awkward looking leaves that we can't manage, or need to be, what I mean is, need to be coloured differently. Let's have a look. No, they're all pretty straightforward leaves. Okay, so I will go off. There's the colours that you need if you're using the Kalour pencils. Here's where we've got. I will go off and complete the myriad of sunflower leaves that there are. Now, we may at the end go back in and do some more depth if we need it, but I quite like the softness of that. And then our little animals will be the focus. Alright, we'll see. See you in a sec. Okay guys, this is how far I've got. So I've done all the sunflowers as I said I would. Now, I am going to be outlining them and putting a little bit of detailing in when we're done. So if they look a little bit, I was a bit worried they were a little bit sort of insipid, if that's the right word. But we'll see when the rest of the page is done if we need to add some more detailing to them. But I am going to outline the petals in a yellow Posca. Yeah, I'm going to use straw yellow. In the meantime, let's come in and have a look at all these leaves we've got to do. Now, what I'm going to do is go in with these three colours that you can see here, if I put the card on screen properly. So bottle green, light olive, and middle yellowish green. And then I'm going to add some depth with a bit of black and go back over with our bottle green, because I just didn't have in the 240 set, surprisingly, there wasn't that real deep green that I wanted. They've got emerald green, which is quite dark, but it is very bluish, so I didn't want that. So let's choose a leaf. Let's go for this little guy here. So I'm going to go in with our bottle green, and I am going to do it as I normally do it, despite the leaves having detail on them. So this is our darkest colour, bottle green. And what I will do, when I've done the rest of it, I will add some black to that. Then we're going in with light olive. And you'll see that the colours are very similar until you start to spread them out. You can see that light olive coming through there. We will do another leaf together. And then middle yellowish green. So we get a nice bright tip to the leaf. And we'll go over the whole thing. Why not? Now, I've got my black Prisma. I'm just going to give it a bit of a sharpen because I don't want too much. I just want that nice deep green that I wanted. So, at the base here, I'm going to put the black. Just in here. Lightly, I'm not pressing hard. Okay, just where I want some depth of colour to come through. So, there. And then we're going to go back with our bottle green and go over that. And we'll drag that black out by putting this colour over it. Might even go in and be brave enough to put a little bit more on. There we go. I just like that, the darkness of that. And we can go back in with our light olive. I like these pencils, how they're performing. They're not Artex quality, I wouldn't say. For me anyway, and that's just how I colour, but they work pretty well for a budget pencil. Okay, let's do another one. So should we do this big one over here? Okay, so we're going to start with our bottle green, and we're going to do the same as we did before. So I'm going to bring that bottle green round. So this just ensures that we've got a nice coating of the pencil on the top, where I want the darkest bits to be. Let's just make sure that my thumb is not getting in your way. So bring that down a bit further on this side. We won't do it as black all the way down there. Then we'll go light olive. Backtrack over that bottle green, and we'll make sure that colour comes out. There we go, we've got that lovely olive green showing through. And on this side, we're just going to leave a little bit on that side for the lightest colour. Okay, get a bit of a crumble with them, but I'm pleased I've got them. I only paid 50 something pound for them on Amazon. I don't know what they are now. I will put links to everything down below. So, you know, the metallic pens and these pencils. So we're going to blend that yellowish green through. There we go. Nice, gives it a nice bright lift, and it'll give a good contrast to that dark green when we've added the black. Okay, so now I'm going to put the black in where I want that really dark. So I'm going to go down the centre, and I'm going around the top here. Now, I think they're wax-based. I would say they were wax-based pencils, but they react pretty well with Prismas, so... And then we are going to put more of this black around here. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. It's just that I wanted that, the real depth of colour in there, you know? Really, that real dark green in contrast to the middle yellowish green. Let's bring that down. And then we'll pull out that Prisma and stop when that Prisma stops blending. There we go. We'll drag that colour down and then we can pull out that colour and then go back in with our next one. There we go. I'm really pleased with that. I like that. And what a difference just that little tiny bit of black makes on those leaves. Alright, so that's the leaves. Now we need to do the middle of the sunflowers. Okay, so let's do, oh, we're here, so let's do this one. So I'm going to use, again, I'm taking my Prisma Black. We're going to use Dark Coffee 173 and Coffee 182. Now, I'm just going to twizzle my page a little bit. Let's do a bit of twizzling. I'm going to put the black in the centre. When I looked up the sunflowers, that seems to be where the darkest part is. Okay, then I'm going to go over that with Dark Coffee. Get the right colour, Lucy Loop. Dark Coffee. Okay. I'm going to pull that Dark Coffee and that black out. So we get a nice deep dark brown in the centre. There we go. And we can start to pull that coffee colour out. There we go, and then we're going to add just the coffee around the bottom. There we go, let's do another one. Let's do this one down here. So I'm going to put a little bit of black here. Not too much on that one. Let's have a little bit of difference. Then we're going to use the Dark Coffee. We're going to really deepen up that colour. Bring that down. Okay. Then we're just going to take our normal coffee colour and bring that beautiful colour out. They do have some lovely colours, but maybe in the 300 set, I don't know, might have some more of these deep colours that I'm looking for. But it's okay, we can make them up. We're going to go back in with Dark Coffee. Just really darken that up so we can see the difference between the two. There we go. Alright, so folks, we have a project. Another one. Another project. Let's come out and have a look. I think that's going to be really cool. When we've outlined the sunflowers. Oh, I'm also going to do the stems. I didn't show you that. Let's do this big stem. Come in. There we go. I'm going to do the stem in the light olive and the middle yellowish. So light olive, and I'm going to do one side of it. So let's do this side. Just because I want one side darker and one side lighter, but I want that, I don't want it so dark on these. So middle yellowish green, let's do that. Okay. Actually, it might look quite nice if we do just a little strip of doo-doo. If we do just a strip of that bottle green too. Let's do that. Gives us a bit more contrast. We can go back in with our light olive and pull that through. Yeah, that's better. There we go. And that's how the stems are going to be done, if there's enough space. Otherwise, I might just do the two light colours, light olive and middle yellowish green. Okay, right. Lucy's off to do the mammoth task of leaves. There's not too many, actually. It's not too bad. And the centre of the sunflowers, and we'll meet back up again. So I've done all the leaves. I'm really pleased with how they've come out, actually. We're going to focus on our little hedgehog guy. So if I bring you in, let's come in so you can see. Here he is. So we're going to do his outside, his little spines, a different colour. Let me move you over so I can get the colours in. And then we're going to do his face and his tummy and nose in a different colour too. So this is the combination for his spines, like I said. So we've got bronze 166, light reddish brown 176 and light ochre 172. So I'm going to go in with the bronze and I am going to put that in darkest around his body, a little bit around his ear, and I'm just kind of scribbling it so that the bronze is uneven. Now I will go back in perhaps and put a little bit more in when we've done the tummy, but he's going to be lighter there, so I don't want to drag that colour in, so I'll do it afterwards, which is why I've left the leaves underneath the dinosaurs, because I don't want to drag dark colour into the dinosaur colours. So, and I will fill those in when I've done them. Because quite often if you're colouring and you use a lighter colour next to a dark colour, that dark colour will drag through. So it's always better to do your lighter colours first. Okay, a little bit around the crown. And we'll come up here. So nice and simple, nothing difficult. Just want to make sure I've got a little bit around those ear rolls. They do have some beautiful colours, but some of the really, I've just found some of the really dark colours might be lacking a little bit. I'd have done away if it was me, just saying. Not that I'm a pencil designer, of course, but I would have done away with the metallics. I don't like them in this set. I'd have done away with all the fluorescence as well. We don't need, well, I don't use a lot of fluorescence. But that's just me. Other people might like them. I don't. So I'm going in with light reddish brown. I'll move over again. And I'm just going back in. Just going to leave an edge for our lightest colour. Here, like this. Push those two colours together. I really liked the sort of reddy tone in this one. And it will really contrast then against his tummy. But it keeps in with these oranges that we've used. You know, in that sort of family, so the page looks unified, cohesive. So they blend so beautifully that these two colours, or these three colours, that it's effortless. We will go, but like I say, I know there's a little bit there, but I will go in with the dark colour once I've done the tummy. And then our final colour, which is light ochre, and we're just going to put that on the little trim that's left. Just so he's got a lighter outside edge. Okay. A bit there. Just make sure he's filled in. Can you see what I'm doing, or is my hand in the way? Just filling that in. There he he is. One spiky little hedgehog dude. Just make sure he's all filled in. I think he's very cute. So we're going to put those colours to one side, and we are going to do his body. So this bit's going to be different. These two are going to be the same, and then this bit is going to be different. So I'm going to take the light brownish, let me just make sure I get this right. Yeah, light brownish grey, which is 190, and I think that's Loris grey, 195, and we're going to do his body in this. So I'm going to take the light brownish grey, and I'm going around his tummy. Around his nose. It's a really pretty colour. It's like one of the French greys in the Prisma set. A bit up there. Oh, that's my tummy rumbling if you can hear it. I'm hungry. So everywhere that I want it to be, a little bit under the base of his arm, we're going to come up a little bit up here, round the top of his nose, because that hopefully will make it look like it stands out. Oh, apologies. That's notifying me of someone's live stream. Okay, let's go around the ear with that. Leave a little gap at the top. Okay, just going to sharpen this Loris grey, which is sort of a creamy beige colour. It's really very pretty. Quite an unusual colour, I like it. And these two work really well together. So I'm going in with that. Go around that top of that ear roll. His little ear. And carry on filling him in. Cute, isn't he? Very cute. That's why I couldn't resist this page. Okay, we've filled that in. We'll go back with our light brownish grey, and we'll just help that blend. Just pushing that through a little bit further. Maybe deepen it up in some areas, like down here. A little bit around his fur maybe. We'll just pull that colour through a little bit more. I haven't decided on the other caps. I don't know what the colour I'm going to do those yet. So I've left the base of the sunflower here as well blank until I've got this body done, because I knew I wanted it lighter. And I didn't want to drag that colour in like we talked about. So, okay. Now I'm going to pick up my warm grey, which is actually looks purple, which is why it's really important to swatch your pencils. It says warm grey. This is the colour that you get, and it is a warm grey, but if you look at the pencil, it's sort of a purpley colour. Anyway, anywho, right, so we are now going in with this warm grey. So I'm going to put that in where I want the darkest areas. And it has got that sort of reddish tint to it, actually, when you put it on white paper. I'm going to cover that line up, even if it means going over that other colour. And then we'll bring it out. And then we're going to use the Loris grey that we've already used in the body to blend with this one. So I'll try and keep my hand out of the way, I do apologise. So let's fill in this colour. And then I'm just going to fade it out lightly. We'll go back in. Okay. Let's take our Loris Grey and fill that in. I hope I'm saying that right. It's how it's spelled, isn't it? I think so. It's so very hard to see on a silver pencil. On a pencil with silver writing. Okay. So he's got his different coloured tummy. And we're going to do his nose the same. So I'm going to take my warm grey and I'm doing dark around the bottom. Like this. Bring that up round the sides. So hopefully it will kind of make it look like actually standing out from his body. It's not just a flat blob. Okay. Like that. And then we'll go in with our Loris Grey. What a cutie toot. Isn't he lovely? Alright, now we'll go back to our hedgehog colour and take our bronze. And I'm just going to make sure now I've done that I can fill in these spikes just at the side. I'm just scribbling. I don't want it to be neat, I want it to look spiky. There we go. A little bit around there. And in there. Okay, there we go. And we're going to take the Loris Grey and just fill in his ear. Like that. Let's fill that in. And his little hand. Okay. There we go. I'm quite pleased with that. I think he looks cool. I might play about and sort of blend the colours in a little bit better. But you know me, if I faff too much I'll mess it up, so leave it alone, Lucy. Okay, right, next we have got one colour, very, very simple. These bits that are left out are our clock dandelions, as we call them. We blow the seeds off and count. Okay, so I'm just doing one simple colour. I'm going to take the base of it and go in dark. This is just grey, 191. And then let's lighten it up. And this one. Can you see what I'm doing? We're very close, my hand's in the way. Go in like this. And then lighten it up. And then I'm going to take my white Posca, just white, and I'm just going to put some little flecks in there, little flicks. And it will make it look fluffy and like we can blow the seeds off. There we are. Okay, I'm going to put the stems in, which will be white. But nice and simple. Okay, let's have a look at our dinosaur now. Okay. Right, hedgehog, that's done. Where's dinosaur? Here he is, right next to me. Okay, our dinosaurs are going to be blue. Where are we? Let me move you right up. Okay. So, I have got ultramarine 087, violet lake 019, and light blue 181. We're going to use an orange Posca to put in his spots and his spine, but I'm also going to use a tiny bit of black again, because I want him really deep up round his back. Alright, so very lightly with my black, I'm just going to pull that in really lightly. Round where I want him darkest. So do it right up to where those spines are, and it's almost grey that I'm touching it that lightly, because I want to be able to blend over the top of it. Okay, get rid of our black, that can go. So now let's take our ultramarine, and we're going to go over that and bring that out. Because again, I couldn't find a really deep blue that I wanted. Okay, and that will pull that black out, make that very dark, and then we'll start to see the ultramarine come through. So that's what we're going to do. Pull that black out, and then let the ultramarine come through. You could use a grey. A lot of people don't like using black to deepen things up, but it's an easy, quick cheat. And of course, if you know your colours very well, you'll know what colour to mix to make it even darker. You know, opposite usually, isn't it, on the colour wheel, I think. Okay, we're going to leave his little tummy alone for a minute. Then we'll go in with a violet lake. So I'm going to bring that in, go over all that. Go up around this little leg. Bring that down around the front, like this. His arm, and then underneath. A little bit there. Alright, then we're going to go in with our very lightest colour, which is light blue. Go back over those, that last colour we put in, and we're going to bring that out. Now I know you're going to say, Lucy, you can't even see those spots, which is why I'm doing Posca. Okay, back in with our mid blue and just help that blend through. Let's give him a brush off. He's got a bit crumbly. And then I'm going to take a bit of white just to help that blend through and lighten him up a little bit. There we go. Back in with that mid blue. It doesn't want to give me a soft blend there. I don't know why. What's going on there? Behave. Alright. And then the fun part, folks. The fun part. Orange Posca. Or a gel pen, whatever it is you've got. And I'm going to pick out those spots. Our dinosaur spots. Put the big ones in first, and then I'm going to go in with little ones. Let's spot him up. There was one there anyway. There we go. Orange spots, and then his spines I'm also going to do in the orange Posca. There we go. Alright, so we've got that done. Doesn't he look so much better with his bright orange spines, doesn't he? Now, we've got his fire. We've got the fire and his tummy to do. So, just two simple colours. Bright orange red, which is 035, and canary yellow 045. So on the flame, I'm going to go up some of it with the bright orange red, like that, and then we're going to take the canary yellow, which is really bright and gorgeous, and go in for the rest of that flame. There we go. And then the tummy, we are going to do a little bit of the bright orange red just round here, just gently. And then let that fade away. I've missed his arm there, haven't I? Okay. Just bring that up slightly. So I'm just really lightly. Okay, look at his little fiery tummy. And then we're going in with the canary yellow. Going back over the top of that. And I'm going to bring that fiery, beautiful yellow out. Okay, I'm going to go back in over the top and blend that through. Just knock back some of that brightness on, but I just want that little bit of yellow sort of peeping through there. There we go. Alright. So the other dinosaur is going to be done the same. They are going to match. And then let's come out and have a look where we've got to. Alright, so what I need to do is go off and finish all our clock dandelions. Do the other dinosaur, which is going to match, just the same. Finish those leaves now. I've missed one down there, and his arm. Gosh, doing well. Let's just take that blue before I forget. There we go. And then we'll come back and we'll meet up to do the little kitty cats and the final finishing touches. Alright, my lovely friends, I will see you in a sec. Right folks, this is where we are. Dinosaurs complete, everything else is complete, and I couldn't decide on the cats. So I've done a little bit of experimenting right at the back of the book. On the, oh sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. On the back page. That was the water-based marker, and I tried a little bit of Arteza metallic paint, and if you're very careful, no bleed through. So I'm going to try and do our little cats in some gingery colours from the Artex 24 metallic colours. So what I've done is taken bronze and this copper and mixed them together. So a bit of bronze. I'm just going to clean my brush off. A little bit of this gorgeous copper to make this gingery colour. Let's have a little bit more of the bronze. Brown it up a bit. And take the water off my brush. Okay, let's try painting one of the cats. Okay, let's do, scared now. Let's do this little guy down here. Okay, alright, probably too much water. I'll just clean off my brush. Alright, so I'm just going to spread that out. And then what I'll do is let it dry and go over it, because I don't want that to go through the paper. Let me just check. I don't think I had it as wet as that before. Nope, it's fine. Okay, so then next I took some copper and Aztec gold and made this gingery colour. So we're going to do, let's do this guy because he will then be more of a match for, let me just do it quickly before it, I don't want to overly soak the page. And then I can go back in and I'll just deepen that up where I want the darker colour. Hasn't gone through. Amazing. So just a little bit of paper. A little bit of paint, sorry. Okay. And then if I switch between those two colours, let's have... So I'm going back between that first mix of bronze and copper. And we'll do this little guy. I wanted them shimmery when I thought about it, but I don't want them to overtake. And look, you've got some pitting in the paper, so it's not the best and then we're going to go back to that mix for this little ginger one. So I don't know what that thing is it's supposed to be holding, so I might just make it green or something. Okay, so what I have to do is let that dry. Don't overly soak it, I think is the key there. So I'll let that dry and I'll go back over it. And then I'm going to take my yellow Posca and what I'm going to do is stay away from those for a minute. Let me just check that that is not going through. No, it's not. It's fine. And I'm going to outline my sunflower petals. Now that should brighten it up significantly and keep in with that really lovely cartoon vibe that we get from Lulu Mayo. There we go. Like that. What do you think, folks? Okay, so now we've got the crown. I'm going to take my Uniball Signo broad. It's just a Uniball Signo broad Mitsubishi. It's just silver. Yeah, just silver. And we're going to do the crown. It's a really awesome silver though, I have to say. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Look at it. It's almost like paint. It's incredible pen. There we go. Alright, so we've got a little silver crown. I'm going to go off, outline all the petals and go back over the cats, and I'll let you know how that turned out. I think it was important to experiment with this on this colour with me to see just how paints will react on this paper, because I've told you not to use them, but I've obviously over soaked the paper when I did mine, because that's not come through. It's a little bit here, look. I don't know if you can see. Hang on, let me move the book. There is a little tiny bit if I lift you up. Can you see that? But it's minimal and will probably dry to nothing if I let that dry first. So I'm going to go off and do all the little bits I need to do, and I'll come back and show you when it's all dry and finished. I'll see you in a second. Right folks, it's the next day and I've let the page completely dry. The metallic paint, although it does pick up a little bit of shine, was just a fail. Just getting blotches on it, and I really don't like it. So what I'm going to do is take the just the coffee, and I'm going to go in and just put some shading on these poor little cats. But at least you don't have to worry about it on your page. Can you see the blotches? I mean, I suppose I could go over, but the trouble is then it becomes opaque and you lose the detailing. So I'm just going to go in with coffee and put some just some shadow in, and leave it at that. It didn't go through the page. Let me just show you. That's my protective sheet. Look, it didn't bleed through the page at all. So we were quite lucky, but it would have done had I have carried on. So you have to be quite gentle with your water in this book. It's not like the other Lulu Mayo books. So I think I jumped the gun a little bit by saying we'd finished. We have the wand to do, and we have the border and the words Queen of Wand to do. So yeah, I'd kind of jumped the gun just a tad. So we're just gonna, I'm just gonna give him a tiny bit of shading, and it will leave a little bit of that metallic shimmer there. But it was just, I think I did 3 coats, and that's not Arteza paint. You know, Arteza paint is usually one of my favourite metallics to use. But never mind, we live and learn, folks. We live and learn. At least I know in this book. It did take Kalouros, but then I layered them up on a single-sided page and it bled through the page, so obviously I couldn't do that on this book, on this page, because of the other side. So anyway folks, it's Friday. We made it to the weekend. So we'll just give them a little bit of shadow, a little bit of shading rather. And hopefully that metallic will pop out, but they won't look so blotchy. There we go. I mean, thankfully, it's a little cartoon page and we can get away with this, but at least I'll know for next time not to, unless it's a single-sided page, not to use the metallics. So we're just going with this one. Oh, not to use watercolour, sorry. I've come straight home from work, straight into my office. I was determined to get this up to you last night, but I was so tired in the end. And then I couldn't figure out what colours I wanted for the little cats. So this kind of forced my hand a little bit, so. Okay, so we've got a little bit of shading. I will continue to smooth them off camera. Alright, so now what's left is if I can move everything out of the way that's getting on my nerves. We've got the wand, so let's do that actually. I can chuck that pencil out the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the grey on the wand and then I'm going to stickle that. So I'm just going to give that an underneath coat so that when I put my diamond stickles on the top, it becomes very silvery. And I know I've put silver on his crown, or her crown, because she's a queen, but I'm going to stickle that too. Although that, look at that. Well, I don't know, I've got my light on, but I don't think it's picking it up very well. Okay, so it's grey, that's it. Then I will stickle that and the crown. Let's do the Queen of Wands words. So the little dinosaurs that we did, we've only got 2, and as far as I'm aware, the rule of thumb for these 4 colouring book pages is odd numbers make the page look better. So we are going to use the dinosaur colours. Okay, I'm going to have to twizzle you around. So I'm going to take the ultramarine. That's not, I don't want that one. I'm going to take the ultramarine and I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to fill in this little bit here, which is behind, so I'm going to make that dark. And in there. And then we're going to do a little bit at the side of each of these. Bring that out really softly there. A little bit down the side here. Bring that out softly. Because we're going to blend right the way up. So, let's fill in the bottom. And then I'm going to use my Posca, or you could use gel pens again, or just avoid your letters and use pencil. But I'm going to go right over it, and then I'm going to go in with yellow Posca. I'll pick up the outlining of the sunflowers, kind of unify our page a little bit. So I'm just filling that in. I'll go back in and fill in any gaps in a minute. Really deepen that up. Okay, then we're going in with a Violet Lake. Okay, once again backtrack. So that really helps our blend. Go over that. I'm going to come right up to the top of the letters, a little bit over. Oh, makes your hand ache. Well, makes my hand ache. So I've got a lovely weekend planned. The husband is off to watch football on Saturday, tomorrow. And on Sunday, I'm taking my eldest son and my grandson to a local forest, and we're going to go walking because my grandson is obsessed with nature and being healthy, and he's only 5 and he's autistic, so we have to find things that are of interest to him. So we're going to go walking through the woods and see all the new spring bulbs and whatnot, have a cup of tea from a flask, all those nice things, and that's what we'll be doing. So light blue, that's on Sunday. So tomorrow, guess what I'll be doing? You guessed it, nothing apart from colouring. Mind you, I've done so many pages this month. I know I had half term, but I've really got lots of pages. I think I've done, hang on, I'll tell you. Let's have a look. This will be my 14th page this month. So lots and lots to show you, some buddy colours. And yeah, it's been, really enjoyed it. Just couldn't stop colouring, folks. Well, it's part of having half term. So I'm just going over now with the colours. And with the mid blue, the violet lake, filling in any white paper gaps. And then we'll go back in with our light blue and do the same with that. You can use that to blend everything. And you want to make sure you're happy with that before you put your letters in, obviously. Otherwise you won't be able to go back over it again. Okay, so it's very shiny, waxy, aren't they? Right, let's do this bit. So we are going to twizzle your background, sorry. We are going to do the bottom. We're just going to come up like we've done the others. Do the bottom. That bit in dark. We can outline this so all this stands out. Bring that out. Okay. Then our violet lake. Soften that out so that our light blue blends in. There we go. And light blue. Got quite a sheen on them, I can see. Let me move that light. There we go. Is that better? That light really was not helping. It was really picking up the wax, wasn't it? Okay, let's do the same on this side. Just put you back in shot. So, ultramarine. I'm going to do that around the bottom. Come up here. A little bit around here. Soften it out. Then we'll go with our mid blue, which is Violet Lake. Do you ever hold your pencils in your hand and you know the order in which they're going in? Do you ever pick them up in an absolute panic and think that you've grabbed the wrong pencil? Because I have done that before, but I was just wondering if it's just me, if you hold them like this and then think you've picked the wrong pencil up. Or is that just me being balmy? Okay, light blue, and then we're nearly there, folks. And then this month, oh, sorry, March, we've got, next month, we've got some, the new Kirby book, we've got, I'm trying to think now, what else is coming? Oh, we've got Mela Panini Chat's new book. Oh, it's just going to be incredible. Lots and lots of colouring pages. Okay, so Queen of Wands ribbon done. I think I am going to go around the edge with silver. Am I? Or am I just going to stickle it? I actually think what I'll use is that grey. Yeah, I think I will, because then I'll tie it in. If I use that grey again, 191. And can you see? No. And then I'm just going to, again, fill that in. And then I'm going to run a Stickles line down it. That'll bring in our clock dandelions. You don't need to see me sit and watch do that. Brush that off. It actually looks quite shiny, even though it's not a metallic pencil. And then I think, well, that's it. So let me go off. Let me see. Let me go off. Finish colouring in this grey. And then I don't think we've got... I'm trying to think if I've got any more gossip to tell you. Oh, I do. I've got some products coming. I'll keep going if you don't mind. Got some products coming from Artex. Very, very exciting products. There's two things they're sending me. One is on the way, as I understand it, and the other will be released in the middle of March. So I won't say anything at the moment because I don't know if I'm allowed to. But one of those products is on the way, the other one I have to wait, but I should get it a little bit early before release date so that I can share it with you. And what we'll do is do some colouring and use it. What else? Yeah, so we've got Kirby Roseanne's new Alien Worlds, I think it's called, book coming. We've got Mela Panini Chats. Now, I know there's another book. I'm just trying to think that I've pre-ordered that comes out in March. It's going to be an expensive and busy month. I'm very excited. You know, gotta love the Curbster. We all love a bit of Kirby, don't we? Especially when he brings a new book out. It's all so exciting. I'll just keep going. Sorry if that's a bit boring, folks, but I'm trying to think of gossip to tell you. Let me just look at my... Oh no, I won't be able to find it quick enough. I was going to look at my orders. Oh, Joanna Basford's got another new book coming out at the end of the year. I think it's November or October. And it's all going to be, you know, pages like she does the little images, where she'll fill the page up with, say, I don't know, 9 images, a bit like Rita Berman does. So that's coming out. We've got Layla Dooley has got a new one coming. We've got who else? Just trying to neaten that up a bit. I'll just use a blender to smooth that out. What else have we got? You know, Layla Dooley that did the Flower Year. She's got a new one coming out. There is a new... Well, actually, let me go and tell you. Amazon. These are all from Amazon. So if I go into my... Oh, it's going to let me. Come on. Here we go. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so there is... Oh, there's a book called Magic Mandalas, that's coming out pretty soon. Then there is Layla Dooley's, which I've mentioned. Then we've got, there's a new Walt Disney Company bringing a poster one out, which I've pre-ordered. I can't wait to see that. Like vintage posters. That'll be fun. And you get the original to copy, so that's right up my alley. Looking forward to that one. There we go. It does actually look quite silvery, doesn't it? Because it's... Excuse me. Right. Now I have the task of trying to find my blender. Here it is. I'm going to make sure it's clean. Hope you're not bored with me wittering on. So just the Derwent blender. And I'm just going to smooth that out. Although you're not going to see it because it's going to be stickleized to death. There we go. Just turn that page there. It just helps to smooth out those pencil lines rather than wasting my pencil. Then we'll put our lettering on and our stickles on, and I think we're done. Other than the cats, which was a bit disappointing. Well, a lot disappointing. Let's blend them out a bit. Well, they are gingery, I suppose. They came out little ginger cats. Yeah, so other than the fail with the metallic paint, it wouldn't have been, I mean, if you were willing to sacrifice the page behind, I suppose it would have been alright, but after 3 layers with the Artex paints, they just were blotching, and I wasn't willing to risk the page behind. So, okay. Right, so I'm going to do the lettering. You'll see it pop out. There we go. I can't talk and do this. Sorry. There we go. That's as good as it's going to get for this shaky old lady. Something's just dropped through my letterbox. I wonder if that's my Artex present. Ooh. Right, and I am going to outline around here. That really pops out then. This is just that yellow Posca again. But again, you could use gel pens if you've got them. I'll tell you what, it really annoys me though about delivery people. That they can see that the light's on. I'm in the front bedroom, so they can see the lights on. Why don't they knock on the door? It would take them less time to knock on the door than it would to try and cram it through a letterbox. Anyway. I'm sure you all have the same issues. Right, let's get the stickles. You have to order more of this as well. Oh, I was watching a video on how to make your own stickles. Well, glitter glue. It looked quite good, I might try it, you know. Okay. Let's stickleize right the way down there. And down there. And let's go over the crown, just so that they match. There we go. So it's just, I didn't show you, did I? I'm sorry. Diamond stickles. And then I'm going to really carefully, I'm going to run down the edge of the border. And that should just bling up our page even more. There we go. We'll do this bit. Oh, I can't wait now. I'll get off when I've done the video. I'll be able to go and have a look what Artex have sent, if it's from them. It's probably a bill now in my luck, and the post is just late. Okay. Let's spread that little dollop out there. There we go, it's a bit better. Spread that out. It's a bit thick, that bit. Okay, one here. Oh, actually, now that I've done the ribbon and the stickles, I'm not so upset. I was pretty upset about the cats, but I think they look all right, actually. I think we could get away with almost saying we'd planned it that way. They were going to be ginger, so maybe I could. There we go. But like I say, if you've got a single-sided page, I'm sure the Arteza would have worked if you just let them layer up, but I didn't want to take the risk on a double-sided page. So there we are. So we're stickled within an inch of our lives. We could pop a bit on there. Just a tiny tad. Tiny tad. And then I'll lift it up and see if you can see it. Usually in this light you can't. But let's see. There we go. Oh no, a couple down there, look. Don't want to leave anyone out. There we go. And the hair, oh my goodness. There we go. Alright, let's have a look. Let's turn it up the right way and have a look. Let's take my plastic sheet out from behind. Oh, let's see. Now, we can definitely see the metallic shimmer. I wonder if I put my light back. If that's just going to make things horrendously worse. Let's try now. You can't pick up any of that stickles, can you? It's much more obvious. There you go, you can pick a bit up down the bottom. It's much more obvious once it's dry, actually, but if I do it like that. A lot of wax sheen. Anyway, folks, we have completed another page together in the wonderful works of Lulu Mayo. This is my all-time favourite Lulu Mayo book. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. Like I say, even though I'm not into tarot, what an incredible piece of artwork these pages are. So, the next video you'll see will be my completed pages, and I'll be able to get that up to you, God willing, early, because I've done so many. And we can finish the month together, and I can go and have a weekend with my grandson and enjoy. So anyway, I've done enough waffling throughout this video. Until we meet again in the very near future, my lovely friends, please take really good care of yourselves, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.